Welcome to the Workplace HSE Culture Development Basic Module. The purpose of this module is to help you collaborate with stakeholders to promote the Workplace Health, Safety and Environment HSE Culture program. This module will take around 15 to 20 minutes and it is recommended to complete this module in one sitting. At the end of the module, you will be required to enhance your understanding by going through a case study and take up an assignment. Submission format and length of your assignment will be of your choice. Example, written essay, photo essay, poem, song, in groups, individually. The options are endless. Your assignment will be graded by our experts, and upon successful completion of the assignment, a course completion certificate will be awarded to you. We hope that you will find this as an interesting learning experience. Let's begin. The nature of construction industry itself poses various challenges to develop a workplace HSE culture. The industry is very diverse. Construction industry caters to a diverse set of sectors, example, oil and gas, infrastructure, etc. Every sector in which this industry operates will have specific requirements, making it difficult for the construction industry to have a single standard which cuts across all sectors. Only major players who have global presence are able to implement the workplace HSE culture effectively. However, HSE standards and best practices adopted in this field by these companies does not have sufficient penetration at a local level. Majority of the construction activity is undertaken by local firms. Specialized services are provided by subcontractors and labor agents. This local construction sector is highly unorganized. Labor conditions vary widely across the world and within a region. Construction workers often have little or no formal education and training in their field of work. Due to this, most of the workers are not aware of their rights and vulnerable to exploitation. Countries have legislations to regulate the HSE requirements in construction industry focused mainly to protect the interest of the construction workmen and community at large. However, these requirements are at times not effectively enforced. It is important that we keep the workplace HSE legal requirements simple so that it is easy to understand and explain. The HSE requirements for any organization engaging in a construction activity is that they must demonstrate that organization has processes and procedures in place to ensure that there is no injury or harm to the individuals working on their site, and that there is no impact to the community in which they operate. Workplace HSE should be a value and not treated as a priority, as priorities can change but not values. Developing a workplace HSE culture in an organization has a number of benefits. It helps to boost staff morale and productivity. A safer workplace is a happier workplace. This can lead to improved staff turnover rates. Reduce risks, ultimately lessening the likelihood of incidents, less paperwork, less staff absences, and less nasty fines. Improve efficiency, avoid reputational damage, and enjoy lower insurance costs. Rather than being an expense, health and safety procedures should be considered an investment, as the results are just as important as any other measurable business objective. It therefore makes a good business sense for a company to operate with a strong workplace HSE culture. Clearly, The risks that face the workforce differ from industries and roles. However, regardless of this, it is vital that managers of all positions enforce a culture of health and safety best practice. The Health and Safety Laboratory have produced this video to explain what health and safety culture means to them.
Hello, my name's Jen Webster and I'm a chartered psychologist here at the Health and Safety Laboratory. And part of my job is to help organisations understand and improve their safety culture using our Ascent model. And one of the questions I'm frequently asked is, what is safety culture? So I thought I'd give you a brief explanation about what it is, why it's important, and how you can measure your safety culture. The term safety culture was first used in an initial report published by the International Atomic Energy Agency way back in 1986, which identified the organisational and managerial failures that contributed to the Chernobyl disaster. And in 1993, HSE's Advisory Committee on the Safety of Nuclear Installations produced their definition of safety culture. They said that safety culture of an organisation is the product of individual and group values, attitudes, perceptions, competencies and patterns of behaviour that determine the commitment to and the style and proficiency of an organisation's health and safety management. Some have described safety culture as an organisation's personality. Another way of thinking about safety culture is the way things are done around here. Now, often you'll see alongside safety culture the term safety climate also being used, and it's not unusual for them to be used interchangeably, even by the experts. And to illustrate the differences between the two, I'd like to use the iceberg metaphor, what you see and what you don't see. Safety climate relates to the perceptions held across the workforce at a given moment in time about the way things are done around here. It's measurable. Safety culture is the underlying shared values, beliefs and habitual working practices that influence health and safety performance, and these are not always apparent. In other words, like this iceberg, the scale and extent of any issues relating to your safety culture may not be in your line of sight. So, why should you measure safety climate? Well, looking back at 30 years of safety climate research, Dov Zohar describes safety climate as a robust leading indicator of health and safety performance. And we know that organisations with a successful health and safety record use an appropriate mix of both leading and lagging indicators. As you can see on the left-hand side, safety climate consists of a number of antecedents. These are the elements that contribute towards a strong safety culture. By understanding the safety climate in your organisation, you can build on your strengths, focus on areas for improvement, and in doing so, you will find you have less injuries and near misses, and a workforce that is both competent, motivated, and engaged to work safely. So I've explained what safety culture is and why you should measure it, but where should you start? It's important to have a plan, and we recommend you use HSL's Ascent model to guide you through the change that you want to make. And you do this through a series of manageable steps. First, build your foundation for what you want to achieve and get the support of key stakeholders in your organisation. Analyse your current safety culture by using HSL's Safety Climate tool to give you a baseline that will act as your anchor moving forward. Focus on your results. Use the survey data to engage and involve the workforce in decisions about what needs to change, and then form an action plan. If you follow the model, you'll be able to make evidence-based decisions to develop your action plan. And finally, you should evaluate how you're doing, as it's important to keep the momentum going as part of your overall plan for continuous improvement. If you'd like to find out more about safety culture or HSL's Ascent model, join us on one of our First Steps webinars, and ask for our free white papers by contacting product support at hsl.gsi.gov.uk.
Having understood the importance and benefits of developing a workplace HSE culture, let us now look at some programs to promote it in our workplace. Here are some time-tested methods that will help you to develop a positive workplace HSE culture. Workers in a workplace should feel like their company and their senior leaders care about them and their health and safety. Leadership walk and talk programs will help. Therefore, you need to be visible safety leader. Always make safety personal, connecting the importance of following safe work practices to personal messages like "Someone is waiting for you. Work safely." Encourage employees to report near miss and incidents. Promoting toolbox talks, last-minute risk assessments, starting meetings with safety moments and celebrating safety day or month. You can only sustain the workplace HSE culture if you have your team or employee involvement. Continue to work on educating your employees. Training to raise awareness on hazard risk identification and assessment (HIRA). Near-miss reporting, incident reporting and root cause analysis. Recognize employees for demonstrating positive behavior on HSE. Celebrating safety milestones like Million Man-Hour celebrations. So how do we begin? Well, start by assessing what actions need to change. Then, using on-the-spot communications and intrinsic motivation to shift employees away from risky choices on the job. Promote HSE in the workplace is through employees themselves. Employees should be empowered to talk to each other and share their concerns. Recognize progress and barriers. React appropriately and be flexible to changing needs. Now let us look at the elements of building a strong HSE safety culture. Construction is a labor-intensive industry. Management needs to focus on maximizing the productivity of workers without sacrificing their health and safety. The workers need the right mindsets, beliefs, values and attitudes to maximize their own and others' safety. A strong construction safety culture requires both effective management systems and an appreciation of the human behavior within an organization. Shaping such a culture requires a concerted, collaborative effort between management and workers, as well as all members in the construction supply chain throughout the entire project life cycle. Building a strong HSE safety culture needs to have a top-down approach. It begins with the visible safety leadership by top management. The top management should commit to the development of fit-for-purpose safety standards, manuals, procedures, invest in safety knowledge management systems. Safety leadership at all levels, review and approve risk management processes. Empower the staff, prepare, apply and lead the HSE culture by investing in training and implement a suitable rewards and recognition program. The safety culture in an organization matures over a period of time, and we all as leaders have a role to play in this process. This figure shows how a safety culture in an organization can mature over a period of time by changing behaviors. The lowest level being pathological, where no one cares about safety, and individuals try how not to get caught when breaching HSE. The highest is a progressive safety culture, where everyone takes pride in how HSE is being managed in one's own area of operation. While we work on developing an effective safety culture in our work areas, we should also be mindful about the barriers or weak signals that we should pick up and address before it is too late. Following can be considered as the barriers to effective workplace HSE culture development. Lack of leadership support and commitment. Lack of employee training and engagement. Lack of trust, blame culture. Complex HSE procedures and processes. Ineffective incident reporting and management system. Substandard past experience. In order to be effective in developing an effective safety culture in our work areas, we follow the simple process of plan, do, check, and act. We need to plan, establish objectives and processes necessary to deliver results in accordance with the organization's HSE policy, means implement the plan. Monitor and measure processes against the HSE policy, objectives and legal and other requirements, and report the results. Take action to continually improve the HSE performance. Behavior-based safety training and implementation helps improve organizational safety culture. By increasing the quality and frequency of safety feedback in the organization, barriers between employees both within and across organizational levels are reduced. Improving safety communication, both correcting and rewarding feedback, through BBS leads to a more open, positive, and trusting safety culture as well as improved safety performance. BBS is a process that provides organizations the opportunity to move to a higher level of safety excellence by promoting proactive responding to leading indicators that are statistically valid, building ownership, trust, and unity across the team, and developing empowerment opportunities which relate to employee safety. Click the link provided in your module to read this case study to understand this better. This is the end of the module. After reading the case study, you are requested to attempt the assignment. This assignment will be graded, and only upon successful completion of this assignment, you will be awarded a certificate. I hope you enjoyed watching this module. We encourage you to practice the concepts that you have learned in this module and make this a great learning experience. Thank you.